Welcome, ladies and gents. We've had the Austrian Grand Prix and we finally got the race we wanted. The two McLarens up top, and it started off absolutely all over the place, this race, didn't it? We got the aborted start. Carlos Sainz couldn't get off the grid, and a bit of Sunny Haze, if you've watched the F1 movie, where he went as they got around to the first to the grid. He managed to get going, got to the pits, and then his brakes went up in smoke, and that was his race over and done with before a lap was even led or turned, the wheel turned in that session. Horrible race it turned out to be for the Williams in the end. And then we got lap one and the craziness. Kimi Antonelli, a big mistake from him. It looked like he just got caught out. He said he locked his rears also, careered in, took out Max Verstappen, and that was the end of Max's race, which is a real shame for him. Is that his championship over? I mean, he's been writing it off for the last few races, I think, since that technical directive in Spain didn't really work out for them. He's kind of just knew where his cards lie. Hamilton and George Russell was brilliant side-by-side action. Russell got past Hamilton at the start, and then Hamilton managed to get that move, a brilliant move around the outside of turn 4, I think it was. A brilliant move from him. Just news on the Austria track though, they've got an extension up to 2041, like Miami, a very long extension, so they'll be on the grid for a long time yet. And then Oscar Piastri crucially got the move on Charles Leclerc. Leclerc went to the inside, a little bit naive, I think. He wasn't probably going to get a pass on Norris there because Leclerc did get a good start, but it left him open, and Oscar took full advantage, got himself up into P2, and we got the two McLarens then side by side. We got Albon was driving brilliantly up on that stage, got a nice move on Pierre Gasly by lap 10, got himself up into P6, so it was looking really good for Albon at that stage. Lap 17 DNF for him. And then we got the massive, brilliant action with the two McLarens. Lap 11, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, brilliant racing. Oscar got the move done. Norris then retook him with the DRS down into that turn 5-6, which was a brilliant action. And then we got the big move, lap 15, where Lando Norris made that mistake. And Oscar, he did the right thing, I suppose. He didn't go for the pass straight away because he knew the DRS straight after down into turn 4 would have left him vulnerable. But Norris got a really good exit out of turn 1 down into that turn 4 and managed just about keep him at bay. And I think that was where that little bit of that chance there was really lost. And then we got the options. When Norris pit, Oscar went long, and that 4 lap extra, or so 4 second gap that they thought he would have come out behind with sort of a tyre advantage would have worked. It was actually 6 by the time Piastri came in, and that was the bit that really, if you look back, really did change the race. It wasn't the right call. He probably should have just pitted a lap after Norris. Norris had a slow stop. Piastri had a slow stop as well anyway, but there was a chance that they could have come on side by side, or Piastri even ahead if he'd got a good stop, because Norris's first stop was slow, but it didn't happen, and then he would have, we could have got that battle continued throughout pretty much the whole race. He had just too much to do there, and in the end he got closer in that second stint, but he didn't extend, despite going, having fresher tyres. He didn't extend that second stint either. He pitted just 1 lap after Norris and lost that sort of tyre advantage that he had, took that pain early. It didn't really make the advantage later on. Probably could have done a couple more laps, but with the gap being too big, even more for him to catch Norris, who knows? But with them fresher tyres, would that have made all the difference? Really difficult to say after on when you look back. I mean, Piastri had an eventful race, nearly got taken out by Franco Colapinto also, didn't he? That was really hand in mouth stuff there, lap 54, when he was trying to past the back marker there. Colapinto got a 5-second penalty for that. Let's get to the 3 good and the 3 bad, and I'm starting with the first of the 3 good is Lando Norris. An absolutely great race. He made just that one mistake, got away with it really. Oscar didn't punish him as we all thought he would. It looked like it was a sitting duck. If he'd made the move into turn 1, he definitely would have made that pass there. I think when you look back, he might regret not doing that, just making the pass. Maybe even running Norris wide a little bit cheekily just to give him that advantage to get out of the DRS, or just give him that gap down into turn 4. Probably it's difficult to say really. Was it a mistake? Should Oscar have done more there? But from there on, Norris drove brilliantly. The second stint, he absolutely pushed massively, got a 6-second gap. I mean, McLaren were looking at it being about 4 or 5, but Norris did that an excellent job there. And then afterwards, when he came out, he was looking a bit nervous, wasn't he, Norris? And he sounded panicky over the radio, saying, "Come on, guys, what can you do to help me out here? Is he just faster than me everywhere?" And at that point, you did think, "Oh, geez, is Norris going to be in trouble here towards the end?" But he held on brilliantly, got through the traffic well, and managed to just keep that 2-second gap to Piastri in the end. Didn't let him in for a sniff in the DRS after the first stint, which is absolutely tremendous job after the back of coming off Canada, which was horrible. He lost big points. It was crucial really that he got this gap down in the championship down to 15 points. Had it been extended beyond sort of a full race win, for Piastri of points ahead of Norris, I think it would have been a little bit more difficult then, because even with a DNF, Piastri would have still held the lead. And so crucial day for Lando Norris. Brilliant motivation buzz as he goes into his home race at the British Grand Prix next weekend. An absolutely tremendous job from Norris. Hats off to him. Second of the 3 good, I'm going for Liam Lawson. An absolutely brilliant P6 from him. One-strap strategy worked brilliantly well. A fantastic job. Much needed boost. He's come in here this weekend and he got his qualifying right. Been on top of that car. That car's looked good. He finally just got that sort of advantage that we've not seen for a little while over Isaac Hadjar, and hopefully this is the thing that he needed just to give him that confidence and that boost after a quite horrible start to the season for him, and hats off to Liam Lawson. A much needed P6, a brilliant drive, the top man of the Red Bull whole outfit, isn't he? An absolutely incredible job from him. Third place in the 3 good is a tough one really, because there's a few guys out there that done brilliantly well, but I'm going to give it for Fernando Alonso in that P7. A brilliant defensive job to hold off Gabi Bortoleto, who had much fresher tyres, and we've seen the old man just defend absolutely brilliantly well. This guy is absolutely magnificent. He's still got it in his ripe old age. Absolutely tremendous driving, and he pulled off a brilliant one-stop strategy again, like Liam Lawson, to jump the Sauber of Gabi Bortoleto, and he defended like a lion, like we know he can, and held on to that P7, which is a brilliant result. I'm going to give a shout out to Gabi Bortoleto, because I think it was a really good P8 in the end. I'd be disappointed because I think the team strategy probably cost him a P6, not letting him past Nico Hülkenberg sooner, and also potentially could they have just stuck with a one stop as well, like the guys ahead that finished ahead of him, of Lawson and Alonso, because he had the car underneath him and he drove brilliantly well up until that point. And also a shout out to his teammate Nico Hülkenberg, who finished just 1 place behind. An absolute brilliant job, made up 11 places from his starting point, did Nico Hülkenberg. Obviously helped with sort of the 4 DNFs, but he still did a great job to finish where he did. On to the 3 bad of the race. I'm starting with Yuki Tsunoda, because he's had an absolute stinker. Finished last, 30 seconds behind Franco Colapinto. He's just been nowhere this season. This curse of the second Red Bull seat is strong. He's finished way down behind both of the Racing Bulls. He's just been nowhere this weekend. It's been a real struggle for him. At one point in the race, it looked like he was getting up into 10th place, and then he got just touching, but he got Just scruffy racing. Even when, there's opportunities there ahead of him, he drove well up into certain parts of the race and it just went backwards quite quickly for him. And just another horrible weekend for Yuki. Second of the three bad, I'm going for Lance Stroll because he's just absolutely nowhere. P14, 7 places behind Fernando Alonso, and he was just a sitting duck for everybody really. The Saubers, the Haas, he just had no pace. He's just really struggled. He obviously had that race off, came back in Canada and did nothing, and he's done nothing this race weekend also. He started off the season well, and he's just gone back to the Lance Stroll that we kind of know. I just don't know the words for Stroll, but an absolutely horrible race. The third of the three bad, I'm going to go for Pierre Gasly because he got himself up into P6 at the start. A great start for him. Made up 4 places, but then had no pace. Really struggled. Finished in P13 in the end. A car that looked like it was going places, just gone absolutely nowhere this race. He got himself into really good qualifying positions and just couldn't hold on. And I think from when you finishing P6 and the amount of top drivers that have not finished and you'd expect to probably finish ahead of you haven't done so, you'd think, there's a point potentially on the cards, and he just didn't make the most of it. There's also potential for the Mercs to be in the three bad because they were absolutely nowhere. George Russell finished 30 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. He had absolutely no pace. He was 62 seconds behind the race leader after winning last time in Canada. This race weekend, the Mercedes have just been absolutely nowhere. So they make another one that makes potentially it's like a four good and a 4 bad this weekend, because there's been a few that just had absolute stinkers. But there we have it. What a brilliant Austrian Grand Prix. We finally got the racing between the two McLarens. Lando Norris, crucially for his championship, won out this time round. And some brilliant jobs. The two Ferraris, I've not even mentioned them, but they were kind of in no man's land, had real good pace, finished 3rd and 4th for the two Ferraris. A brilliant race weekend for them when you look at where they finished and where they've been, but just not quite had the pace that we've kind of wanted them to have. They were just, again, a bit like too fast for the Mercedes, but nowhere near the pace of the McLarens. I'm hoping they've got upgrades for Silverstone, so hopefully that will push them a little bit closer to the McLarens and we can get some good battles up there in the front. And for my predictions, watch out for that. I've had a really good weekend on the predictions this weekend. Watch out for the driver ratings coming early next week, and we head straight to Silverstone, home of motorsport. It's a brilliant circuit, this one. We always get fantastic racing. I cannot wait for the action to get going, so we'll have plenty of action. Driver ratings coming soon. A review of the F1 movie, a preview of the Silverstone Grand Prix, and as ever I'll be here for my views on the Silverstone qualifying and race. Let me know what your thoughts, what were your highlights of the Austrian Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, see you in the next one.